So we have a flock of the states.
Block of the states, okay. And I'm from New England, New Hampshire, specifically the northern New Hampshire states, and we always have a little rivalry with the lower states, the Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut states. But we got a loud Brahma here. He's not from the states, is he?
Well, that's a little unclear where
Okay.
they came from, but he came in as a surprise from Coolers. We didn't order him.
All right, but he's a pretty good little friend there. So in New Hampshire, we have the New Hampshire Red, which I think is the best chicken. But I'm from New Hampshire. But tell us about this little rivalry with Rhode Island.
Well, the people in Rhode Island a long time ago in the 1800s developed what became the most famous chicken in the world. The Rhode Island
Red.
Red. Okay, the Rhode Island Red is a great egg layer, and it also gets pretty big, and it's good to eat, and it's popular all over the world. And it's so popular that the state bird of Rhode Island is the
Rhode Island Red.
red.
And it's even so popular that there's a whole other country that has the most famous chicken that we were going to go to.
We were thinking of going to Ireland. We checked over there. What's the most common breed of chicken raised in Ireland? We thought it would be the Irish Green or something.
Something.
No, it's the
Rhode Island Red.
Red.
Well, I'm from New Hampshire, and we cannot be outdone by one of those southern New England states. So we went and developed the New Hampshire Red. And they're really good meat eaters, or layers. Wait a minute, let me start again. They're really good meat birds, and they're moderately good egg layers, too. They're hardy because they can stand the New England weather and the New England, I don't know if they actually eat rocks, but there are a lot of rocks in New England and New Hampshire. But anyway, so the two of them kind of compete back and forth. Is that right?
A little bit, but really the Rhode Island people won out because you can actually go to Rhode Island and you can see a monument to the Rhode Island
Red.
Red.
Yes, can you believe that? That is their state bird, isn't it?
The state bird, and that can only be rivaled by the state of Delaware. Okay?
How does that fit in?
The state bird of Delaware is the Delaware blue hen.
I've never heard of it.
That's because it doesn't exist.
Wait a minute, it's their state bird and it doesn't exist?
It's the
You're right.
state bird, but it doesn't exist. But there is a breed from Delaware that we have here, and it is the Delaware.
All right.
It's not the state bird of Delaware. That's the Delaware blue. But the Delaware breed was developed because it grew. This is the days before Cornish rocks and modern hybrids. And the Delaware breed grows pretty fast. So
Okay.
for many years, the state of Delaware was a leading producer of chickens, and people ate up and down the East Coast, and mostly the Delaware breed. And that kind of fell into obscurity when Cornish rocks and other faster growing hybrids were developed. But we have two Delawares here,
All right.
two New Hampshires, and two Rhode Island Reds.
All right.
State blocks.
And why did all of these develop on the East Coast, you suppose?
Not all of them did, but I think there was a lot of interest in poultry breeding in the East. And this was in an era when many farms and even city people had chickens in the backyard. So these birds with individual characteristics were developed, and it was a time in our country's history where people showed chickens. It was a big entertainment. This is long before YouTube and Netflix and all of that, where you might raise chickens and then take them to the show.
And now, what's the difference between a breed and you mentioned hybrids? What's the difference there?
Breeds were developed to have specific characteristics that carry on. So if you breed a male Rhode Island to a female Rhode Island, the babies will be basically Rhode Islands.
All right.
Change. Yep. Hybrids were developed usually by maybe two different breeds, sometimes several more complicated breeds. But if you made a California white with another California white, two hybrids, you will not get the same thing in the offspring. They're different.
All right.
Okay? So breeds breed true. Hybrids do not. Hybrids have special characteristics.
All right.
But we need to come back to the biggest breed of chicken.
You mean like the biggest? Biggest. All right. I'm from New Hampshire, which is up in New England. Rich is from one of the mid-Atlantic states, New Jersey. And
Okay, and the biggest breed of chicken chicken is the Jersey Giant.
All right.
And Hoover sells two different colors, the black Jersey Giant and the white Jersey
And
Giant.
we have.
And interestingly, the breed was developed by two brothers who had the last name Black. So the Black brothers developed the black Jersey Giant and then sometime later the white Jersey Giant. But here, New Jersey is a very small state, you know, over
Let's
here
take a look
in
at our
the east.
geography here.
But it produced the biggest breed of chickens. And for many years, Delaware, down here, tiny little state, was a major producer of broiler chickens. And New Jersey developed the Jersey Giant because it also wanted a good meat bird. Not used for that anymore because they grow slowly.
And one interesting point is New Jersey is the garden state, and so many people know about New Jersey because it connects to New York City, and they think, what, there's nothing there, but New Jersey used to be a garden state, fed a lot of people down in Philadelphia, New York, up to Boston, so there was a lot of agriculture in these areas right here, and that's why it's still the garden state.
So, we have in our flock a white Jersey Giant, Delawares. We have Plymouth Rocks from Massachusetts.
Wait a minute. Plymouth is in New Hampshire. Everybody knows that. What's this about Plymouth Rocks and Massachusetts?
If you read about the history of the Plymouth Rock chicken, two things come up. One is that kind of commonly believed these people that came from England in at least the old small boat.
Yeah.
And they supposedly didn't really happen, but supposedly they set foot in North America on what?
On a rock at Plymouth.
The Plymouth Rock. And it was famous. You can go there today if you can see that.
I've actually seen that little rock. It's very little, and I don't think they really did that, but it's a good story.
So, two things happened. Either the chicken breeders of Massachusetts developed the Plymouth Rock chicken and named it for the rock,
Right?
or some sources say there's a town in about this part of New Hampshire
Yep.
named
Plymouth.
Plymouth, and those people may have developed the Plymouth breed, and those New Hampshireites just added the word rock to it.
And if you're not totally confused by now, well, we're not doing a really good job. But I will just take credit from New Hampshire that we are both the best chickens with the New Hampshire Reds and the Plymouth Rocks. Now, we're talking tongue-in-cheek here, guys, so don't get too worried about it. But we do have the New Hampshires, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware, the Wyandottes. Talk a little bit about the Wyandottes, because those are real interesting.
There were a whole bunch of breeders kind of in this area, New York, Michigan, Ohio, that developed the Wyandotte breed, and that's named after a tribe of Native Americans along the valley. So the Wyandotte breed is kind of a Midwestern. You know, New York's not the Midwest, but sort of.
Ohio Valley, yep.
Ohio Valley. And the Buckeye, we have one Buckeye here, and a couple of Wyandottes, and the Buckeye was developed in
Ohio.
Ohio, and that is
Tree?
the
State
state
nut?
tree, and also who are the famous athletic team? Who are the
Well, it must have something to do with Buckeyes.
Buckeyes?
Yep.
Okay, is that Ohio State or the University?
Oh, I don't know who it is, but we should check with our friends because
Buckeye.
they really do know.
So we have Hampshire Reds, we have Plymouth Rocks, we have Rhode Island Reds, we have Jersey Giants, we have Delawares, we have Wyandottes, and then we skip
Buckeyes.
Buckeyes from
Yep.
here all the way over
Across
to
the country.
California. Not much in this part of the country, but we have two California whites.
All right, well, let's take a look at them.
California whites aren't a breed, they're a hybrid. But we like them because they lay like crazy.
Oh, tell about
If you
that
loop
wonderful
that-
little hen that we used
Right
to
around the
have.
front.
Tell about that great little hen we
The
had.
last batch of chicks we got from Hoover's, we kept for several years, and we had one California white. And she laid a white egg, and all the other chickens laid brown eggs. So we knew every day she laid an egg, every day. She never took breaks. And I would say to her, you can take a day off, and she rarely would. So we came to like California whites because they are such good layers that we had to have some California
is what there? Up on the roost, what are the two on the left?
These are New Hampshires.
And they are a lighter red, and you can see, this is nice that the one beside it, what is that one?
That is a Partridge Rock.
Ooh, they look very similar, but one's darker.
Okay. And down here, the darker red ones that are sort of mahogany are the Rhode Island Reds. Rhode Island Reds are a little darker than New Hampshire Reds. California Whites are the skinny ones, and they have a few black feathers on a white body. The rooster that got put in specially by Hoovers is a Brahma, and he has feathers on his legs. And as long as he behaves, he can stay here. Otherwise, he will become super. Some of the pretty chickens here, we have some golden laced Wyandottes. There's one right there, golden color. And the Delawares have the little bits of black barring on their necks. And that reveals that one of their parents was the barred rock when that breed was developed.
So that's
So-
the grouping of the state's birds, is that right?
Yes, and these chickens this week are 16 weeks old.
All right, well, that takes me to the next question. We have all kinds of feed for chicks. And we've got some here and some here. So what do I do with all the extra feed as they get ready to lay?
If you do it by the book, and what the instructions will say is when you get your first egg, that's when you stop feeding the starter grower and you start feeding the layer.
Right, but I've got 20 pounds of starter. I don't want to be wasting money. That's a lot of.
You don't want to just throw that away. It's expensive stuff. So there are two things you could do. You could either just keep feeding it for a while. And actually,
So it doesn't hurt.
these chicks, maybe the first one starts laying at 16, 17 weeks, but they'll be starting the other breeds later on. So you can continue, or you can mix them together.
So that does
Blend
not
it.
hurt. Okay, blend them
won't
together,
hurt.
okay?
Don't waste it.
Yeah.
Don't waste the feed.
So what is the difference? I see here, is this the littler stuff is the starter feed, is that right?
Yes,
So
but
it's
that's not,
smaller.
that's not the critical thing in the difference. The starter feed is high in protein
Oh.
and low in calcium.
All right, so even though it's smaller grain so they can eat it, it's got the higher,
Protein. The layer feed is lower in protein and higher in calcium. And you can get layer feed in crumble form. This is crumble,
Oh,
so
all right.
they would look identical.
all right.
And you, in storage, if you have two kinds of feed, you want to mark the barrel so you know
Sure.
which is which. Otherwise, it's easy to get
Yeah.
confused.
So it's the older chickens as they lay need the calcium more than the protein.
And what we showed today about these different breeds in the different states they came from, history is a great way to develop curiosity and to learn. And especially if you are raising chickens with children, you can read in books, there are websites, the Hoover's catalog is good, and you can work with your children. Well, where is New Hampshire? You know, where is where's New Jersey? Where's California? And that brings in geography, and then on the history of chickens, brings in a little bit of American history and food history as well. So it's a wonderful learning technique, and it's also just fun to know.
All right, now we have a little corn cob here, so this ties in somehow. What's this all about?
Boy, it's midsummer and it's gardening
It's
season,
July.
and we grow all kinds of food. We don't grow corn, we buy the corn,
Right.
and when you eat them, you know, you eat that. Human teeth are not really good at getting all the little bits of the good stuff out of there. So when we are done, we've gotten all we can from the plate. We put it in our little bucket. We come out here, and we throw it in the chicken run, and those little chicken beaks, they get
Yep.
every little bit of that
Yep.
corn out of there. They love it.
Yep.
So if you are eating corn on the cob and you have chickens, make sure you put those cobs into the chicken run.
Yep, and it also, a little tip to know is that sometimes the chicks, when they're new, look at that and go, it's just like our kids or us when we're looking at new feed. They don't know it yet, so one of them will be brave and come over here, and give it the eyeball, and then give it the eyeball again, the others come rushing over. So when you got your corn, your watermelon, your greens, give them a little bit of time, they'll come to it and they will just start to eat it. And other things they'll look at and go, no, I'm not gonna eat that one at all. But they do like that, it does take some time.